Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Gotham Knights video, and today what I got for you guys here is going to be an updated list of all the confirmed villains for this game so far. I've gone over this before in a video, but there's actually been a lot that's come out since, and there's a couple of villains on this list that you may not expect have been somewhat confirmed, or at least for the most part teased to be in the game. Before we jump into all of this though, because it's quite a lengthy video, if you're looking forward to Gotham Knights, if you can't wait to see some more villains revealed for this game, well then scroll down right now, hit that thumbs up button, share your excitement with me. Let's get the video to 2,000 likes. Come on. Let's jump in now. Let's talk about some of the confirmed villains that we can expect to see in Gotham Knights. I want to start things off by going over the obvious ones. These are the ones that are 1000% confirmed, the ones that we've already seen, and so we know they're going to be in this game, one way or another. And the first of that is Mr. Freeze. He was one of the first villains revealed for this game, all the way back 2 years ago when Gotham Knights was initially revealed. We even got a glimpse at his boss fight, which may not be the only time that we fight against the character, but nevertheless, we've got an extensive look at Mr. Freeze. We know he's going to be in this game, and he's going to be wreaking havoc in Gotham. I think some people are a little disappointed that maybe we're not going to get a boss battle that's of the caliber of the Arkham City fight against Mr. Freeze, but let's be honest, you cannot beat one of the best boss battles in video games, so let's not even try to tackle that. But also, do not underestimate WB Montreal. They're the guys behind Batman Arkham Origins, and while it is pretty much a very different team these days working on Gotham Knights, it's still them, it's still WB Montreal, and they did such a good job of the boss battles in Arkham Origins. Next up, though, in the obvious villains list, we have Penguin. We actually saw Penguin revealed last year during DC Fandom. We got a nice little story trailer for the game, and it doesn't really look like he's full-on villain mode. At least Nightwing was just having a conversation with him, but Penguin's in the game. We know that much, and I'm sure one way or another he's going to try and double-cross us, or just, in general, kind of be a bit of a jerk like he usually is. And then finally, on the list of obvious villains that are going to show up in Gotham Knights, they are proclaimed as the main antagonists in this game, and that is the Court of Owls. We have seen plenty of the court in all the promotional material for this game, so we pretty much know, yes, they're going to have a major role in Gotham Knights. We're going to go down into those dungeons, we're going to face off against some Talons, we're going to fight the actual members of the court themselves. I'm so intrigued how this story is going to play out, because there's no Batman. The comic book heavily revolves around Batman and his struggle, his fight against the Court of Owls. So with him out of the picture, at least per speculation, how are the Gotham Knights going to go up against the court? One thing is for sure, the GCPD is not on our side, and they are not really going to be helping us too much with this fight. It's been mentioned in several interviews that the GCPD does not side with the vigilante life. They are not going to help the Gotham Knights. We have Renee Montoya on our side, but even she has some apprehension in helping us, but that's it. Pretty much everybody else of the GCPD is up against us. And as well, from the very first reveal trailer where we actually get a look at Jim Gordon's badge, we get to see that there may be something going on between the court and the GCPD, as the badge has an owl on it. Moving on though, I'd say this is an obvious one, but we haven't really seen much in any of the promotional material for Gotham Knights to help me say I can confirm this for you. But we do know, before Gotham Knights was even revealed, there was a whole campaign that was going on from WB Montreal where they captioned it, "Capture the Night." And they were showing a bunch of weird, cryptic logos, which nobody has really been able to decrypt except for one. And that is the logo of the Demon's Head, the League of Assassins. So I think we can all deduce that in some way, the League is going to play a part in Gotham Knights. I mean, there was a mention of a secret organization that helped revive Red Hood. So his past, his origin, obviously being tied to the League of Assassins, is going to play a factor in this game one way or another. So I'd say there's a good chance we can expect to see them in this game. Whether Ra's al Ghul is going to be at the head of it, or whether it's going to be Talia or Nissa, I have no idea. But I would hope to see Ra's al Ghul in there and see him be one of the front runners as antagonists we face off against in Gotham Knights. And then another villain that, again, I can't say is confirmed, but I'd say the likelihood of him showing up in this game is pretty high considering the marketing before the game was revealed. Once again, I don't know if anybody out there remembers, but before Gotham Knight was revealed, just about a month or a couple of weeks before DC Fandom in 2020, there was this whole campaign going on where they had this website that was just known as Redacted. The website was like super cryptic, there was a bunch of passwords you had to put in, and everybody in the community was trying to figure out out what the passwords were to unlock the hidden codes to reveal information about this game. And one of those codes was face to face, written over a blueprint of the map for Gotham Knights, which we now know. The thing is, though, it wasn't like face to face like face T-O face. It was face to face like face TWO face. So Two-Face, Harvey Dent. Are we going to expect to see that villain show up in Gotham Knights? Again, I'd say the likelihood is pretty high. Whether or not he's straight up just Harvey Dent still, and we're going to maybe see the origins and the transformation into Two-Face during Gotham Knights, I'm not sure, but I'd suspect that he's going to be Two-Face at the start of it, and that's going to be one of the villains that we go up against. And I don't know if anybody remembers that package that's right there behind me. That was sent to me by WB Games. It's unfortunately in German, but in it, there was a newspaper, and the English version of the newspaper shows that there are a ton of Easter eggs and some world building for Gotham Knights in there. One section of the newspaper had someone writing in complaining about the puzzles. But anyways, the name, when you translate it, it's an anagram for Edward E. Nygma. I'm already hearing the sigh around the world about whether or not Riddler will show up in Gotham Knights, but I'll be completely honest, I'll be the one to say it if nobody else does. I think the Riddler trophies were really fun and a great challenge and something to go hunt for in the Batman Arkham games, and I wouldn't mind if they made a return in Gotham Knights. Maybe we tone down the taunting a little bit and we have a lot less of Riddler in our ear yammering about how much better he is than us, but for the most part, when it comes to actual puzzles and the way that it was to try and get those Riddler trophies, it was fun, it was interactive, I thought it was really cool, and honestly, if WB Montreal is going to be able to borrow just one thing from the Batman Arkham franchise, I do kind of hope that it's that. There was also an ad in that newspaper for Pamela's Cafe. We actually saw concept art of this. It's a cafe diner, so maybe a hint at Pamela Isley or Poison Ivy, although I feel like this is more of a nod to Poison Ivy rather than a hint towards her potentially being in the game. But okay, now we're going into the heavy speculation territory. The villains thus far that I have shown to you on this list, I'd say we have good reason to suspect that they're going to show up in Gotham Knights. The next couple here, though, I'm not 100% sure on. The speculation here, it's pretty tinfoil hatty, but there's still some good evidence. I'm going to go from kind of the weakest to the strongest. Starting things off, maybe we're going to see Hush in this game. We saw that there's an Elliott Memorial Center in, I believe, the reveal trailer for Gotham Knights. So could we end up seeing that character show up, Thomas Elliott, in Gotham Knights? I'd say there's a good chance, and honestly, it'd be a very compelling side mission, or in general, a story mission for the game if we had somebody impersonating Bruce Wayne running around Gotham after his supposed death. Anyway, since we're talking about Arkham Knight, one of the side activities in that game that I do not like replaying was the one where you're facing off against Professor Pig. And, well, in Gotham Knights, I believe for the Nightwing trailer, one of the thugs that we're seeing a dual takedown between Nightwing and Batgirl against is wearing a pig mask. We know, based on the Gotham Knights website, that there are going to be enemy factions. The Court of Owls are going to be one of them, and there were several other locked images to the left and the right of the Court of Owls logo. So considering that one of these thugs is wearing a pig mask, could one of those factions be for Professor Pig? And speaking of those enemy factions, people also speculated when Gotham Knights got that initial reveal trailer that one of the enemy factions could be for Anarchy. We saw these thugs that were in red and white, looked very similar to Anarchy's design in Batman Arkham Origins, which led to all that speculation. And well, recently we got a trailer for Robin, and towards the end of the trailer, like they did with the Nightwing trailer, we got a bunch of cool dual takedowns with other members of the Gotham Knights. And when Robin was taking down one of these thugs during that portion, they have, clear as day on them, an Anarchy symbol. They used Anarchy in Batman Arkham Origins. They did a pretty good job with that, so maybe they just want to pull that character into this game, and honestly, it could work really well. A character like Anarchy just starting riots in the streets. I mean, imagine playing online with your friend, jumping into a riot and having to take down a bunch of enemies, and then inevitably having to face off against Anarchy himself. And finally, this is a pretty big one, and this was something that was brought to my attention by somebody on Twitter. Big shout outs to Jacob Sawyer for pointing this out to me, because when the Robin trailer dropped, a bunch of promotional images were sent out to members of the press, and I got a hold of some of those images. One of them was of Robin in a pretty sick looking alternate costume, and he was facing off against a brute with a giant shield. And I would have never guessed to actually zoom in here or do any investigating, maybe because I am certainly not the world's greatest detective. I am no Batman Arkham videos, okay? But Jacob Sawyer zoomed in on that enemy's shield, and if you brighten it up a bit and look very closely, you could potentially see some graffiti on the shield that says Harley was here. There's no denying that one of the greatest villains in the history of comic books is the Joker, maybe in the history of ever. And well, who's the Joker's one love? Who's the Joker's right-hand woman? It's Harley Quinn. And I'll be honest, I do not want to see Joker in this game at all. I think we got plenty of Joker in the Batman Arkham franchise, plenty of Joker in media in general. Really great character. People are doing some brand new things with him. Can't wait for that supposed sequel for the Joker movie and whatever they got going on with it, maybe making it a musical. I think that's a great idea. But if we're not going to have the Joker, I certainly wouldn't mind if we have that connective tissue with Harley Quinn being one of the villains and being one of the enemy factions that we face off in Gotham Knights. I just hope some of these villains start getting revealed. We've gotten plenty of trailers for the Gotham Knights themselves. We've gotten a lot of Court of Owls stuff. Even Mr. Freeze has gotten his time to shine. Penguin was revealed in the trailer last year at DC Fandom. It's time for some more villain reveals. If the League of Assassins are in this game, it's time to give us a look at them. It's time to see what they're going to look like, what the designs are, and whether or not it's Ra's al Ghul who's at the helm. If Harley Quinn is in this game, they should use that in the marketing. That would be big, and that would be a huge draw for a lot of people, as she's showing up in a lot of media right now, and people are a big fan of the character. And with that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Based on this entire list of confirmed and speculated villains to show up in this game, which one are you most excited to go up against in Gotham Knights? I want to hear you sound off in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, if you could consider leaving a thumbs up on it, it would show your support, and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My links are going to be in the description box below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.